This morning, Scramble, glad to have you here. Dr. Jeremy Cook also in, as always, from NOC, and we'll talk NOC and higher ed and anything else on Jeremy's plate coming up here. And Dr. Marc Moore is on the line, Superintendent of Schools, and he has 8 minutes before he has to go to Google Hangout.
Go, 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 go.
There you go. Is that what it's called today? It is the Hangout?
Go ahead.
Are you in a Zoom meeting or a Google Hangout, or what's your 8 o'clock meeting? We're just curious.
It's a Google Hangout meeting, which is Google's version of Zoom. I'm sure they don't want to tagline it that way,
sure.
But it's essentially what it is.
You know, if things don't change for a while and we keep doing we want to be different each time. Maybe some week, Jeremy, from in studio here, we could join your Hangout.
Yeah. In fact, what we do normally with if we have someone who's outside the school district, because Google Hangout's really easy in that we can just click a button on any kind of calendar event, and it just sets up a room for us. But yeah, you could set up a Zoom meeting easily, and
he's got the app right here, so we're ready to go.
Yeah,
they'd love our input. We'd help a lot, I know.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
My opinion would be totally asked for that entire time.
Yeah. So, hey, we did want to talk about some of the budget matters you have to think about. That's kind of how we went into this, and looking ahead. And it's hard to plan the future when you don't know the future.
Yeah, they're starting to get at least some projections out now. So the state comes out. The budgeting process for us is the state will, the Board of Equalization authorizes a dollar amount that the legislature can spend. And those are based on really your best projections, and then the legislature allocates those funds for us, and it comes to us through the allocation sheet. So we will get a dollar amount that says we're going to get this much money for this certain program this year. Now, what that is just a intent to pay if the funds come in. So What's happened probably about 4 or 5 times in my career is they will say this dollar amount is going to come to you, and at the end of the year when revenues don't come in, they'll say, well, revenues didn't come in, so we will readjust it, and you're going to sustain a cut. So right now this year, it doesn't look like, at least from the stuff we're seeing from the state, that we will receive a cut for this year. It's really looking at next year. I think the governor gave out a projection on a 7.5% to 8%. That was kind of a preliminary estimate. Wow. And then looking at even FY22, which our fiscal year runs from July to August. And right now, I think there's as much concern about FY22 as there is about FY21.
Right. When you
go ahead.
We were talking about potential cuts with the recession that took place a decade ago. We were looking at cuts, and the classrooms got bigger and stuff like that. Is that one of your fears? Is that not that you'll have to lay people off, but maybe through attrition not hire those positions again? Is that one of your fears? Classrooms are going to swell again in Oklahoma?
It really is. And as I've thought through this, I've been superintendent now for almost 20 years, and you can manage the money part. I mean, it's right. not a hugely difficult task. But what the difficulty is living with what cuts you have. And we have, here at Stillwater, the last couple of years, made a lot of progress to lowering our class sizes. And it's something we're committed to. We think it does a couple of things. It gives our kids a good environment. It gives our teachers a good environment to teach in. And what's happening now with schools, generally a school district, 85 to 90% of their budget, general fund budget, is personnel.
Right.
So that's really the only way that you can save substantial money is to have less personnel costs. And by doing that, you have the same number of kids, you just divide them up by fewer number of teachers. So that's the only way you can do it. A lot of times is raising your class size.
And this feeds into almost what Dr. Cook talks about on a weekly basis, because one of the advantages at NOC is the fact that it's a small class size, and you're able to, all your students by name.
Well, right, and that's I was going to mention that that's, again, clearly I'm biased because I enjoy living here. I love this place, and the quality school system is one of the reasons why. And the size of classroom absolutely does have an influence on the educational outcome. If you have a class of 30, second graders, there's not going to be as much that is able to get done as when you're in 15 to 20. And so Stillwater's dedication to try and maintain, those type of numbers, again, that's just shows you, we're very forward thinking here and understand priorities.
Yeah. Dr. Moore, we have about 3 minutes left here. What have we possibly missed that people need to know? We've talked about the plans. You do hope to have the graduation or a ceremony of some sort?
Yeah, we will start getting some information out within the next week or so. Really just finishing up strong on our distance learning. We have a couple of weeks of it. It's been a good experience. We really are really pleased with my staff and the parents and everyone who's just pulled together. I echo Jeremy's thought. You don't realize how good of a community you live in until something like this happens. So just really pleased with it. We'll start closing it out. I know some of the final steps for us after we have closed out the distance learning is making sure we do some equipment exchanges, so things that kids have personal items that need to get we need to get personal items to the kids, and then the kids maybe have some items that they need to turn in. We'll work on in that all after the kind of the ban from the state and the city is lifted. And we are really just turning our heads quickly to what does August look like. We haven't made any decisions. We're going online this summer with some of our summer school programming. We're going to try to push some of our driver's ed and stuff back to the end of summer. But right now we're really looking at our summer plans and all our activities, and then in the next 3 or 4 weeks we will start turning our minds to, we're already starting to think about August and plan for August, but even more intentionally looking at next school year.
We'll appreciate all you do and fighting the unknown right now, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week or two, and we'll have some of those answers. A few.
Yeah, just let me know.
Have it all solved.
Yeah, we'll have it all solved in 2 weeks, yeah. So,
Mark, good. I will call you more then.
Hey, I do appreciate all you do and being out there for us. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you within the next week or two.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Talk to you later, Jeremy.
See ya. Thank you.
There you go. There is the superintendent of schools, and we got him off in time for his meeting.
Wow, that is something.
If we were actually having school, I'd get a gold star. I don't always do that. Yeah. So I appreciate his time today.